How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another virtual description. Today we are going to talk about my 1953 Chevrolet 3100 5-window pickup. This is a really cool truck that's got a lot of cool options on it. We bought it from a family out of the Virginia area, and the story goes we actually bought it from a younger lady, and I believe it was her father's truck that had it since the 80s. They did a bunch of work to it over the years, and then after he was gone, she no longer wanted the truck, and that's how we acquired it. The driveline that's in it, it has an excellent running 283. I believe the casting number on it comes back as a, see here, yeah, it's a 1967 model 283 that has an aftermarket tri-power setup on it, and it runs just great. Backed by a 4-speed manual transmission. Does have aftermarket front disc brakes. It's a manual front disc brake, but it stops great. You do have power steering, and then what's really cool, and probably the reason why it drives so nice, is it does have an aftermarket Mustang 2 front clip, aluminum radiator with electric fans, and then on your exhaust you have a set of headers, H-pipe, dual exhaust. It does have cherry bomb mufflers and full tailpipes, but it also has a side exit exhaust with electric cutouts. There's a little switch under the dash that you hold open, so if you want it to be really loud, you can open the cutouts and it sounds really good. But if you don't want it to be too terribly loud, you close the cutouts and then you have the exhaust going out the back. This truck will cruise at 65. It'll even go up into 70 miles an hour, which is very unusual for these. It does have a Ford 9-inch. It does have a highway gear, and then being a 4-speed, you can just cruise really, really well at 65 miles an hour. Take a look at my test drive video. It'll be me driving the vehicle. We'll talk more about the mechanicals, but again, a really, really cool 5-window truck when you're driving it. On my does it work section, 2 small items are not working. The Speedo's not doing anything. It's going to need something repaired with the Speedo cable. And then the washer sprayer fluids don't do anything, but both really minor items. Everything else on the truck is working really, really well. On the underneath, in my normal pre-inspection that I do, I noted a very minor drip from the bottom of the back of the motor. Really, really minimal spot. Nothing that needs to be addressed at this time. And then again, all the suspension and the bushings, all that stuff checks out well. On the exterior, I don't know the exact date on when the truck was repainted or when it was really restored. It's not a fresh restoration by any means, probably done in the 90s or early 2000s. Unfortunately, I didn't get all of that information from the previous family. I don't have an exact date on when it was done, but it was a well-done truck when it was restored. It does have a heavy metallic in the teal paint. Overall, the quality is nice. Up on the top of the cab, there are some little scratches that have been touched up. A couple other little miscellaneous imperfections kind of around the truck, but nothing that's terrible, jumping out at me as bad body work or anything like that. Just again, some touch-ups, some scuffs here and there from being an older done truck. Take a look at my additional informations tab on my website, pcclassiccars.com. It'll really outline all of the imperfections that I found on the truck, but it does have a really nice quality. Inside the bed looks really, really good. You have the steel wheels with the flat caps and the white wall tires, which gives it a really nice look. And then again, the 5-window cab, it's hard to go wrong with that. On the interior, it's a gray stock style bench seat interior, matching door panels. Gauges are all really easy to read. The inside of the cab was painted as the same time as the exterior because it's all a matching color. Again, interior, really no issues. It shows well front to back. Engine bay, probably the best thing about the truck. That 283 with the tri-power setup is just kind of eye candy when you pop the hood. It shows great in the engine bay. It's all painted. It shows well. There's nothing that's out of place, nothing that's missing. Overall, the engine bay is really, really clean front to back. The underneath, they definitely had the body off the frame at some point when they did do the restoration because the bottom of the cab is all painted body color. The frame's painted black and it shows really well. No rust issues. They did do a small spot on the inner driver's side rocker as well as the passenger side inner rocker. They did a small repair on both sides. Same thing with the cab corners. But whoever did it did a nice job. It shows well. There's really no problems on the bottom side of the truck. There's no current rust issues. They did a really nice job when they restored this truck back in the day. Overall, it is a really cool 3100. Being that it's a 5-window cab, it's the one to have. The tri-power is really kick-ass and not something that you really see on a lot of vehicles, especially someone taking the time to do the Mustang 2 front suspension on this. Having the 283, having the 4-speed, again, the tri-power setup is really cool. The disc brakes are nice. If I was going to do anything, I'd add a vintage AC setup to it to have cold AC and then fix the speedometer. But outside of that, there's nothing really else for me to add on this truck. It's a really cool 3100. I've really enjoyed owning it, and I think the next owner is going to have a blast driving it. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my virtual descriptions. Make sure you check out my test drive video along with my additional informations tab. Both are going to be posted on my website, pcclassiccars.com, and I'll catch you guys on the next virtual description. Thanks again for watching.